Well, it was an eventful Fury Pro Grappling for my next guest, Richie Lewis, kind enough to give me a few moments. First off, congratulations on the win over Andrew Cockle. It seems like that is the sub-story in all of this. Happy New Year to you, Richie. How are you?
Hey, I'm pretty good. Yeah, Fury Grappling was a good time.
I mean, it was a good time for a lot of reasons, I think. I mean, obviously you got the win. We can start there. Congrats on the victory.
Thanks, man. And I appreciate you recognizing that. I think I was the only MMA fighter to go against a pure jiu-jitsu player. Um, set up or not, I think that gave me a good layup. I think that I was probably the only guy willing to do that, and it was very important for me to come out with a victory in order to do my call out. So you're right, it was a sub story, but it's something that I'm proud of. That was my first ever jiu-jitsu competition, and I dominated the black belt, so it was exciting.
How important was it to sort of have the leg locks removed to sort of make it more of a grappling match than a jiu-jitsu match?
It was somewhat important. I got a pretty busy schedule coming up here this year. I obviously haven't been active for 6 months, so I didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. And I think that those were the same rules that Sean Brady had fought Craig Jones in.
Right.
So I didn't special. I just asked for the same as the UFC guy got.
And I think that's fair too, especially because, like you said, you're a mixed martial artist that has a busy year ahead of them. Why take unnecessary risk, and why prevent it from keeping you from competing altogether? So you got the win over Cockle, but really the narrative of this entire sort of event started the day before. Eddy Torres was in your face. Watching the video, it's hard for me on the outside looking in to really understand what happened without talking to someone like yourself who was there and has a firsthand account of it. I come into it, Richie, with him getting in your face, and then ultimately there's a shove and a punch. Like, break it down. What led up to him getting in your face?
So it actually started, I would say, couple months ago. I've been trying to get on this. I've been trying to get on fights and get action, and I've been being denied. I tried to fight Robert Vericchio, who's an undefeated fighter on the CFFC banner. I tried to fight Blake, who is the champ of CFFC. I tried to fight Eddy Torres on that September card, and everything has been no avail. So you could only imagine I'm a prospect coming up, slightly frustrated. So I figured I gotta do what I gotta do, and I gotta start making it public and giving these guys a call out, starting off somewhat respectfully. So I just put it out. I just put it out there that these are the guys that I want to fight, and these are the guys that are not accepting fights with me. And I put that out there, and then obviously his team got in a bit of an uproar. He comes from a great team, and I did have a lot of respect for those guys. I still kind of do. Andre Petrowski jumped in the mix and made a comment about me when I called him out. So I made a comment back, and it kind of just embroiled into somewhat of a feud, which is good for the sport. It's good for me. It's good for them. So I kept diving into it. I think he took it a little bit too much to heart. I had just got done weighing in. I was sitting down. I'm there by myself, sitting down, and Eddie comes up to me, and he comes up from behind me, and he's like, "What's up, man?" I'm like, "What's up? How are you?" He's like, "You know who I am?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're Eddy Torres. I want to fight you. You should sign the contract." And then he started to get closer. This part wasn't on camera, and that's when I had stood up. And then as soon as I stood up, because he was getting very close to me, I stood up. Andre Petrowski comes around. I see one other guy come around, and I'm like, okay, so I got to just watch myself here. I seen how amped up he was. So I just kept my composure. I made sure that I wasn't going to get jumped. I looked around, just was like, man, if you want to fight me, let's fight in the cage. And if you really want to fight me right here, then tell your boys to back up. You got them circling around me. I'm not going to take out – I'm a tough motherfucker, but I ain't going to take out you, Andre Petrowski, body bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take out, not in one night at least.
Right. No, 100%. And, you want to get paid for it. You might as well get paid for it.
And I'm like, man, look, I understand if you're taking offense to this, but I'm trying to build my brand. I was like, my bad.
It happens. What are you going to do?
And this is good for business.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to do something right here. Then what is it? He kept getting angry, getting in my face. So a hook came. When the hook came, I got my hands up. I looked to the side to make sure no one was going to jump in. I had seen, before I had a chance to really even react myself physically, I probably wouldn't have anyway, but before I had a chance to, his coach had grabbed him, and there was a bunch of distance between us. So it's
It,
pretty exciting.
it's probably for the better that they kind of removed him from the situation as quickly as they did, because I do think we have a pretty blockbuster banger of a fight on our hands. Now, real quick, getting to Eddie's sort of qualms with you, was it the idea that you said that he had turned down a fight? Is that what he took umbrage with?
That, and then after our little banter, when he lost, I made a comment on him losing to a Division II wrestler.
Okay.
And because he could have took that fight with me, or he could have took the fight with a 3-2 kid that hadn't fought in 2 years, and then he got fucking smoked by that kid who's not that great of a wrestler, and now you're gonna try and fight a world champion. So it's kind of like, yeah, it makes sense that you didn't take the fight. Rest in peace, my friend.
Understood. All right. So, I mean, what's the next move here? I mean, is this a fight? Obviously, there's intrigue, but is this a fight that has been verbally agreed upon? Is it something that we'll, be able to expect to see here relatively quickly?
For sure, I want to get this fight done, and I want to get it done in Atlantic City. My state of New Jersey is waiting on my homecoming. Atlantic City is about an hour and a half where I'm from. It's about 45 minutes from Philadelphia, so it's on somewhat mutual grounds. I know CFFC has a base out of Atlantic City. I think it's a casino. It's a nice arena. It brings entertainment. I know that I could bring the fans out and bring great revenue for a regional show. I don't think there's anyone on this level, on this regional scene, that's building promotion and really doing it like me, aside from the likes of Bo Nickel, who also is we're the only two U23 world champions ever in United States history, and we're the only two guys that can bring this type of draw to a regional promotion. And as long as everything works out logistically, I mean, I'm ready to fight. Let's make it happen in Atlantic City. If they could get the card there in February, March, April, doesn't really matter. Get in Atlantic City, pay me my money. I'll bring the eyes. I'll bring the revenue and main event and strangle that motherfucker.
Richie Lewis is fired up, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to see this. This is one thing you said, bringing the eyeballs and the money to a regional show. Like, this is how you know you have a big fight on your hands. There's a buzz that is palpable for a regional fight. And I hate to even call it that, because it sounds like I'm being demeaning towards it. This is a fight that, has, like I said, a palpable buzz that I think can even get, average fans that are maybe not even familiar with yourself or CFFC to actually, put down the money, sign up for UFC Fight Pass, and watch it. Now it makes me think, like, okay, do we need to, like, give this the sort of big fight treatment? Like, do we need to put you guys on a conference call? Do we need to do an interview like this where, it's in the vein of Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor, or John Jones versus Daniel Cormier? Do you want to do those sort of things? Would you want to, like, have maybe a longer wait to give the community a slower burn, a bigger build to this upcoming fight?
End of the day, I think we have to. If my hand is forced, I'll fight him in 4 to 6 weeks from now. If not, let's build it up. Let's make it in March. Let's make it in April. I know that's when CFFC is aiming for it. But yeah, I'll beat him in the cage. I'll beat him on the mic. I'll beat him on social media, as he would say. So wherever the battleground is, I'm ready to fight it. I'm ready to win it.
Man, I'm excited. Richie, whenever this happens, we got to have you back. Maybe we get Eddie on as well and give this the big fight treatment, because I think that's exactly what it is, sir.
Yeah, before you get Eddie on, though, make sure you guys get him with a PR team. I know he doesn't articulate his thoughts well.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Richie, appreciate the time. Thank you very much for coming on the show. And I got a feeling this is the first of many times we're going to chat here in 2023.
Hey, nice to meet you, TJ. Thank you.